What's up guys, this is Mike the Detroit Borg with a look at the Logitech ultra thin keyboard cover for the iPad 2 and the iPad 3rd generation. So this is designed to work with both iPads. What this is basically a Bluetooth keyboard with a magnetic hinge, just like the smart cover. So this connects to the iPad with that magnetic hinge. Now this does provide an angle for viewing and typing on your iPad. So you can see basically what you have to do is remove the iPad and prop it up in this keyboard. So there's a little hinge here, not a hinge, but a tray here or gutter here that allows you to angle your iPad. So that provides about 60 degrees of articulation. Now the keyboard itself will last for about 6 months on a full charge, so you don't have to charge this too often. Of course, it depends on your use. Now this is a Bluetooth keyboard, so of course you do have to pair this to your iPad. Now in the box, in addition to the keyboard dock itself, we have a cleaning cloth, USB to micro USB charging cable. So of course that means you'll have to either provide your own wall adapter or you can use your computer to charge it. And we also have some user documentation. So let's go ahead and take a look to see what we get. Alright, so let's just pull out the tray containing the keyboard dock. We have a nice little arrow here to lift this up. There is the keyboard dock itself. We'll take a look at that in just a minute, see what else we get here. So we have our literature, basically probably telling us how to pair this with our iPad, how to turn it on and off. Of course, we'll do that on camera. Some important legal information which we don't care about. So we have our cable, micro USB to standard USB for charging, and a little cleaning cloth. Doesn't look like there's any Logitech branding on it, just a black cleaning cloth. Alrighty, so there is our very lightweight keyboard dock. Definitely doesn't add much weight to the iPad itself. In fact, it weighs probably as much as most cases do. So let's go ahead and peel off this plastic. Now taking a close look around the keyboard dock itself, you can see it's made out of this very reflective and fingerprint unfriendly black plastic, that piano black finish. It does look pretty nice. I wouldn't say it looks high quality, but it does the job. In the center you can see we have this propping mechanism for the iPad itself, which we'll demonstrate, but you can see there's actually magnets in here which fasten to the magnetic edge of the iPad. So it does a pretty good job securing the iPad in that slot. Now, of course, we have a full QWERTY keyboard with some function keys, which we'll demonstrate once we get it connected. On the right side, we have our Bluetooth pairing key, which allows us to pair this to any iPad. We have our on and off switch, and we have a micro USB connector. On the back, we have our hinge here, which of course uses magnets just like the smart cover from Apple. Now on the back, we have a metal plate here which resembles the design of the iPad. It's not quite as rigid or sturdy as the iPad, of course, but it gives you that similar look. Now it's important to note here that we do not have feet on the back of this plate, which is kind of important for a keyboard dock because otherwise when you place this on the surface and you use this on the surface, this will get scratched over time. So that's something to keep in mind. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and marry this to an iPad. So here we have a 3rd generation iPad and we have our hinge here. This is the left side of the iPad, the magnetic edge of the iPad. Just bring it to the keyboard dock. You can see it automatically snaps into place. You can cover it up. And there you go, and you can see, or you can hear, that the magnetic enclosure, of course, works with that auto on and off feature of the iPad. So here you have a package that looks a lot like a MacBook Air, kind of, maybe, you know, just a little bit like a MacBook Air. It looks all aluminum. On the back, you can see we have this plastic hinge here. The magnetic hinge is plastic, it's not metal. On the side, of course, you can see the profile of the keyboard dock. So it adds some weight, some bulk to the iPad, but not too much. Now in order to really use this keyboard, basically what you do is remove the iPad from the keyboard and prop it up in the keyboard dock. So as you can see, it magnetically connects to the iPad, does a pretty good job there, holds on pretty securely. So you can lift it up, move the keyboard around, does a pretty good job. Now of course it doesn't work with the other side, the side that contains the button. So if you drop it in, you can see it uses leverage, but it doesn't magnetically hold on to the iPad. Now taking a look at the keyboard dock in profile, there is a 60-degree angle here, so you have a 60-degree viewing angle here, and you can't really change that. And it is pretty stable, so you can continue to tap on your iPad without fear of knocking it over. So you can see there is just enough leverage back here to hold the iPad up. And of course, when you're done using it, just pull it off, hook the magnets together, and you're good to go. Now in terms of that hinge, you can see it holds on pretty securely, but it will release if you're not careful. So really it's just meant to hold on to the iPad until you need to take it off to use it in the keyboard viewing mode. Now the pairing process is pretty simple. All I have to do is switch it on, press the Bluetooth pairing button. Now you can see we have a Bluetooth light indicating that we're ready to pair to an iPad. Go to our settings, go to General, go to Bluetooth. Searching for devices, it sees our Logitech Ultra KB cover, says it's not paired. Let's tap on that. And we're connected. So that's all there was to it. All right, so let's go ahead and start using our keyboard dock. So as you can see, in the upper left-hand corner is the home key, which replicates the home key function on the iPad. In fact, if you hit it twice, you can see I get my app launcher here. Now taking a look at the keyboard, it actually looks a lot like Apple's Bluetooth keyboard. So we have our function, control, option, command keys, command option keys to the right along with directional keys, full QWERTY keyboard along with symbols. On the left, we have our tab key, caps lock key, which is not illuminated, and a shift key. Now the upper row of keys have functions that work specifically for iPad, and they're different than what Apple uses. Apple has things like brightness control and that sort of thing. This does not. This has things specific to Logitech's implementation. We'll take a look at that. So in the upper left, we have the home button, which operates as I demonstrated earlier. That's the only thing it does. And the other keys require you to use the function button in order to operate them. So if we use function, search brings us to a search screen. Now, if you want to bring up your virtual keyboard, all you have to do is hit function 3. And if you want to change the language of the keyboard, all you have to do is hit function 2. It's a strange feature, I think, to build in. Now, the function 4 and 5 keys allow you to select text. So if you hit function 4, this will allow you to select text, and you can basically scroll back and forward. So function 5 goes right, function left goes left. So you get the idea there. Now, functions 6, 7, and 8 are cut, copy, and paste. So cut, paste, and if we want to do copy, let's do that again. Select all, function 8, function 8, function 8, so you get the idea there. And now you can also use the standard shortcuts. So for example, if I want to do the same here, Command A to select all, Command X to cut, Command V to paste, or Command Z to undo. Now we also have our media controls here. So we have play, pause, mute, volume down, and volume up. So let's play. Volume up, volume down, or mute. Now we also have a lock key here, so we can lock the iPad, function delete to wake it up. Now overall, I'm pretty impressed by the keyboard dock. I think it's designed very cleverly, certainly the best in this type of category of keyboard docks. It's very thin, very lightweight, weighs only 11 ounces, doesn't add much bulk to the iPad, and protects the screen. It's also easy to take on and off because it uses magnets. You don't have to pry this on and off to get the iPad out of the case or off the cover, so it works pretty well. And of course, it provides a propping mechanism, which most portable keyboards don't. So for example, the Apple keyboard has no way of propping up your iPad, so you still have to use a case or something like that, and then you still have to provide another way of carrying this around. So this really isn't the best option for portability. Now the only drawback here is the fact that this case does not provide any protection for the back of the iPad. So just like the smart cover, it provides protection for the front glass, provides no protection for the back of the iPad. And unfortunately, if you want to use a form-fitting case like the SwitchEasy Cover Buddy or the SwitchEasy Nude, it will not allow you to use the slot feature here on the keyboard dock because it won't fit. So that's something to keep in mind. This is great for covering the glass, not great for protecting the iPad, but otherwise a great portable keypad for your iPad. So that's going to do for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.